Hello. It's been a while. We need to talk. There's a couple things I need to talk about in terms of my YouTube channel at the state it is right now. For those of you who've known me or my channel as a whole, I've primarily been a Smash Brothers fighting game channel, making video game guides, tutorials. Some of you may know me for meme compilations, and just a whole lot of stuff. And it's been great. It's been a very interesting experience. I've been able to do a lot of the things that I envisioned when I first started my YouTube channel, and I feel proud that I've been able to do what I've been able to do. However, recently, I feel I'm in a little bit of a rut, and I think I'm starting to understand why. So let's just go right to the beginning. Why I started YouTube in the first place. I started YouTube when I realized that there was a gap in the market in strategy guides. I remember I used to be a big fan of Smash Brothers Brawl and Mortal Kombat 9, and I would look up guides on YouTube and websites, and I really found it really interesting the way people would talk about certain characters, and I found the whole format of it really fascinating. But I found that usually guides at the time were either poorly edited, not very funny, kind of boring, and sometimes not even that useful. So I felt like, after high school was over, I felt, there's something that I could potentially do that no one else has done. But at the time, I had no experience with video editing whatsoever, right? So I knew that I needed to kind of figure out how to edit first in order to get to that state. So I started my YouTube channel closely after I finished my final exams in high school. I live in Australia, by the way, so it's called the HSC. And after the HSC was over, I started working on guides, sort of. So the very first video I made, scrolling all the way down here, I'm just looking at my channel right now, was called the Charizard Guide. Ironic, right? A fighting game channel. The very first video I ever made was a Pokemon video. Anyway, and I was a bit of a Pokemon fan back then as well, so I thought, I thought I'd make a guide about Charizard, It was my favorite Pokemon back in Pokemon Red. And I made a guide and strategy analysis talking about, the kind of the ways you play Charizard in the competitive Pokemon scene. And interestingly, I used that what was that platform that you use for Pokemon? It was like the Pokemon generator, like you can play on the computer. I forgot the name. I used to advertise my channel using that editor. I think it was Pokemon Showdown? Pokemon Showdown? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Pokemon Showdown. And at the end of each match, when I'd wreck somebody, I'd be like, hey, you should check out my channel. I do Pokemon videos. And they'd be like, oh, cool. I think one of my first couple of subscribers was from Pokemon Showdown. Anyway, so I got that out of the way. It did pretty shit, but whatever. And then the Little Mac reveal came out for Super Smash Bros. Wii U. And I was like, fuck. Like, this was the first proper character guide for Super Smash Brothers and a character trailer. And I, naturally being a huge Smash fan, I just kind of thought, hey, I'll put this up. And I did this stupid ass wonderful. I was going through the comments of one of the trailers for Little Mac, for the Little Mac reveal, and someone mentioned that they noticed that every time the Little Mac trainer would say, yeah, some couple of numbers, kind of like how many reps he's doing, Little Mac, when punching the bag, he said 101, and someone was like on the comments, oh hey, what if that was Wonderful 101? That's a hint that Wonderful 101 is going to be a character. And I thought, hey, there's an idea for a video. So I made some bullshit video about how Wonderful 101 could be in Super Smash Brothers, and that became my very first theory, sort of. And it took off. It did pretty well. So that was awesome. My very first proper guide, I'd say, was the Scorpion guide for Mortal Kombat 9. And I'd move on to... I did other things as well. I did Plants vs. Zombies, who the fuck plays that anymore? Titanfall. I didn't even play Titanfall. I don't know why the fuck I made that. And I kept sticking to Smash because I could. That was what I was aiming for. Basically, I know I'm kind of not really getting to the point, but the point was I wanted to get to the point where I'd be comfortable enough to make this guide, the Mario strategy guide that I released at least a year after I'd started properly posting on the YouTube. So all of these videos, all of these memes, I'll talk to memes about memes later, theories, compilations, all this shit, everything was all to get to this point right here, to get to Mario strategy guide. So that went well, and I noticed that it also took off as well, which was awesome. That was what I was planning to do. But I realized that, and I put out other guides, I put out other things, other memes, but then I put my first ever strategy guide for a game that wasn't Smash, which was Mortal Kombat X. And it did shit. It didn't go anywhere. And I felt a little discouraged. And at the time, I was also dealing with personal issues and other shit, life issues and all that stuff. And I think over time, I just started to lose a lot of focus and I wasn't sure what I was doing. I kind of would make, I would here and there make guides because I knew they would do well, but I was still very unfocused. I wasn't necessarily happy with what I was trying to do, Like, I understand people like memes and like there's a market for that, but after a while, I just started personally hating putting meme videos. And I'm sorry for anyone out there who's listening to this who is a fan of memes, meme compilations that I put in the past. It's just that it's kind of demeaning to have to make your channel based on somebody else's work, technically. Like, it's not really someone else's work because they're technically working over someone else's work, by editing or making some writing over a picture of a game, whatever. But like, the reason I did that at the beginning was because I found it difficult to balance out between the time frames for putting out guides, because guides would take ages to make. And I knew that in between, I need to have something in between. So I thought memes was the way to go. So that's what I did for a while. And it was okay. I didn't mind it. As long as I made my guides and my theories, that was all that was really important to me. But after a while, the memes started overtaking the guides, and I was just like, what the fuck? This can't be happening. So I eventually abandoned the memes, and I'm sorry to say this, but anyone who is watching who's a big fan of meme compilations, they should probably unsubscribe right now, because I probably won't be doing them anymore. I just don't feel that it really enables my creativity, and it's just not something I enjoy doing anymore. And and so I started delving into other videos, other guides. After a while, I kind of burnt out on Smash after the last Corrin strategy guide. And I did a few moveset theories here and there, and tried to delve into other video games. I did Fire Emblem Heroes. I do apologize, by the way. I probably should have been more open and more clear about the fact that I was not a Smash channel. I think that was the biggest problem that I had. And I think that's part of the reason why when I put things out like Mortal Kombat, Fire Emblem Heroes, all those stuff, Dragon Ball FighterZ, people, like a lot of my long-term viewers would be very confused. They'd be like, what is going on? I thought this guy was about Smash, right? And that's partially my fault. I should have properly communicated that my channel was not just Smash Brothers, but a fighting game channel as a whole. And I think now, moving forward, after the reveal of Smash Ultimate and now my understanding of the YouTube landscape as a whole, I'm going to move forward and do my best to change things up in terms of branding, in terms of the schedule of my YouTube videos, because I have trouble balancing everything with life and YouTube. It's quite difficult. I have a full part-time job. I have a social life. not easy to balance everything. I'm sure anyone who's a upcoming YouTuber who's done this stuff before finds it just as difficult as I do. But anyway, getting back to the point, I lost focus, which is another big thing that I got. I think you can tell when you kind of scroll down on my videos. Like I'm just all over the place, aren't I? Like there's theories, there's Fire Emblem Hero shit, there's like guides. It's like, what's going on? What am I, right? And even for a long time, I used to put trailers out. You'll notice if you scroll down my channel right now, there's no trailers out. Why? It's because I deleted all of them. The reason being is because the last couple of trailers I put out was kind of the turning point for me. I put out a couple of trailers from E3 2018, and I lost a shit ton of subscribers. Like, fuck, a lot of subscribers. And I'm just like, what is going on? So I realized that while it was disheartening, my subscribers were telling me something. They don't want to see trailers. They want to see proper content. And I realized that it's not even my content. So why the fuck am I putting on my channel? So no more trailers and no more memes either. So unsubscribe if you expect any of those. Moving forward, from now on, I'll be doing more focus. I'll be having more of a focus on guides. Just guides. Tutorials, guides, and the kind of format of my guides, I hope, will be different from what other people are doing. The biggest example of my guides will be more of a kind of story-based, kind of like, it's hard to explain. The only way I could explain it is I suggest you watch my How to Play Go-To video. That will kind of give you an idea of the kind of format that I'm going for. I also want to address, and I'm sorry, by the way, thank you for, sticking out for this long. It's kind of a rambling video. There's no real script for this video. I also noticed that in regards to my guides, the way I've done my guides up until this point, while has its benefits and has its good points, it's not. I could be doing a lot better. For example, if I look at my Corrin strategy guide or Bayonetta, a lot of the times my strategy guides is more so about me talking about the move as opposed to how to use the move. And I think I read a comment about that was giving me some feedback about that. And you know what? They're right dead on. My guides, while they have their place, they don't really teach you how to play the game. It's more about a showcase of the moves. And that's what I've been doing wrong. And I'm trying to change that now. If you watch my recent Pokken tournament guides and the Goku guide from Dragon Ball FighterZ, you'll notice that there's a big shift in how I make my guides from being a move showcase to being an actual tutorial on how to play the characters. Anyway, so now that I've got all that out of the way, I want to talk about what the future of my channel is going to be. So I've taken some hard lessons and hard look at my channel. I even hired a bit of a consultant about my channel. I know it's kind of embarrassing. And if you're listening, thank you, by the way. You know who you are. So he gave me some very good feedback, and I've taken a harder look at my channel as well. And I've also asked some people and my friends about what I could be doing differently. So first things first, I'm probably going to revise the name a little bit. I think a lot of people probably have trouble in pronouncing it to begin with, the YouTube channel name. So that will be changing probably later down the line. Like I said, my guide structure will change a little bit. I'll have more of a focus on tutorials, strategy guides, theories here and there. I also want to expand a little bit to other types of action games like God of War. I want to make a video on on the combat of God of War. And I also need to learn how to communicate clearly to you guys that this is not just a Smash channel. Like, if I'm making a video on Smash, it just so happens to be that I'm talking about Smash at that time. I want to also talk about other fighting games. And it's partially my fault. I wasn't communicating that clearly. So the fighting games that I do want to cover in the future will be Smash Ultimate, obviously. Dragon Ball FighterZ. I love that game. Fuck, it's incredible. The visuals, oh my god. Pokken Tournament DX, hopefully. That's something I know there's no following for it, but I think it's just such a shame that it's not getting the kind of credit it deserves as a fighting game. And in the future, there was that new game, I think it was Jump Force, right? That's pretty cool. And I'm actually interested in that My Hero Academia fighting game, which is interesting because I'm kind of a big fan of My Hero Academia. So if you're interested in any of those, please stay tuned. You'll be seeing a lot more content from those things. And there'll be more focus on tutorials and guides, as opposed to memes and theory. As I'll probably still do theories here and there, but mostly tutorials and guides. As for other games like Fire Emblem Heroes, I won't be making any more videos on Fire Emblem Heroes. I do believe I've kind of gotten over that phase. So sorry, Fire Emblem Hero fans. If you subscribe for that kind of content, please unsubscribe right now. No point staying. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm really sorry that this has been just one of those videos that's just me rambling. I think one of the biggest other issues that I realized that I haven't been doing on this channel is that I haven't been open with you guys. Like, I don't really talk about myself at all, right? You guys don't even know who I am. This is probably the first time I properly talked about myself on a YouTube level, right? And even with my guides, actually, and my videos in general, at the beginning, if you noticed, like, if you watched some of my earlier videos, like my early strategy guides, like the Mario strategy guide, for example, I had a lot of sass in that video. I had a bit of a personality. I had some terrible jokes. Oh man, watch the Sonic strategy guide. Fuck, that was... The opening joke was so bad. The down tilt joke, like, I just cringe. But I had more of a personality. But I think I had this mindset that I just wanted YouTube to be kind of my way of just putting my shit out and just, if people like it, great. If they don't, whatever. And that's a great way of looking at YouTube as well. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. But there comes to a point where you also need to consider what the viewers want. And ultimately, no one wants to be told how to play a game by someone where they don't know, right? And you guys don't know who the hell I am. You don't even know whether I'm even a good player. And I kind of get that now. I understand that in order for a channel to do well, and this is, if you're interested in getting to YouTube, this is also good advice for you too. If you want to do well, there needs to be a human element to that. The most successful channels have always risen against the odds by being human, by being vulnerable on YouTube. And I hope that me opening up a little bit more will kind of open the door for you to see me as more of a human being and not just some guy behind a microphone making bad jokes or just talking about how to play a character, But yeah, I think that's about it. I will make some changes on this channel. You'll probably be noticing a lot of different things that will be happening throughout the course of this channel. I'll be refining a couple of things, changing up some playlists, changing up the way I do videos. And feel free to give me any feedback as well on what I could do differently and how I could position myself as a brand. And thank you. Thank you for sticking by me after all these years. All those, you know who you are, the people who have watched me from the very beginning and noticed that there's something about this guy, even though he's kind of bland and kind of he's all right. He makes decent videos. You could feel that there's something about him that you just liked and you had to hit that subscribe button. So thank you. I appreciate that. And I will be better. And I'm sorry for the lack of communication that I've done for the past couple of years on this channel. Take care, guys.